Hello everybody and welcome to the lore of the Paths of Carcosa. I hope you guys have been enjoying Carcosa Week. It's been great. This is our second video that we're recording for this because we record them out of order, but Dunwich Week was fun and Carcosa Week has also been pretty sweet.
All one video we recorded so far.
I've been recording more for all that stuff too, but yeah.
I enjoyed the one I recorded.
Yeah, it was good. The yearbook video was great. It's coming out tomorrow. No.
No.
So this is continuing from Dunwich Week, talking about the lore. However, the lore for Paths of Carcosa is a little bit more complicated than the lore to the Dunwich Legacy. Because Dunwich Legacy is based on the short story, The Dunwich Horror, we were able to use that as kind of like, tell the story, what it was about, how it related to it. But also the campaign was kind of just like a sequel to that story. Not so much with there's no like Path to Carcosa book. There is the King in Yellow, which we're going to be talking about here, but which had a bunch of short stories that provided some inspiration for the campaign. But even that is taking from something else, which then inspired a bunch of other things, and it's kind of like this mad web that Travis has unraveled for this video.
Sort of.
Yeah, as much as you can.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about all that stuff here. So we have a table of contents to kind of dive into this. We're going to be talking about notable characters and locations that kind of exist in these stories, the plot and the history of the actual play, The King in Yellow, the Cult of the Yellow Sign, and then we're going to have some IRL trivia and some recommended reading if you want to dive into more of this, because this one is a bit different. But before we get into this, Travis, why don't you explain what the King in Yellow short stories are and like how that kind of like is like the base of what we're working with here.
King in Yellow stories are King in Yellow is a book of short stories by Robert Chambers that has some stories related to like Hastur and the King in Yellow, and some that are not.
Yeah, I think there's like 7 stories and 4 of them are, right?
Yeah, it's like 3.5-ish.
Yeah.
Like I think it's I think it's called the Mask. The petrifying solution one is like kind of, but not really.
Yeah.
But yeah, they talk about some of the relevant. They introduce the relevant characters and sort of a lot of the themes relating to madness and the King in Yellow being a play and like distorted realities. But over the years, lots of other authors kind of took names and concepts and built them into their own stories, and they didn't really become talked about more in the IRL trivia section, but it kind of didn't become part of the Flu mythos until August Derleth started kind of codifying things. So
yeah. And even this, the King in Yellow by Robert Chambers, that wasn't even the first time that Hastur appeared. Ambrose Bierce,
Ambrose Bierce
had some references to Hastur, and there's 2 short stories that we are going to be talking about here that had that. So it's like I said, it's a little messier than just being like, this was a creation in a Lovecraft short story. Here's the short story. There's a lot of pieces we're going to talk about, and let me tell you, get ready to meet things that are both people and potentially cities, or maybe they were never people but they were always just city. Maybe one was a star, maybe one was a moon. It's kind of very just like there's a lot of different things here.
One of the concepts that's introduced later in the King in Yellow's sort of life cycle is or more modern interpretations of it that fits very well with the campaign is the idea that the King in Yellow, while the play follows similar structures, it appears differently for each viewer.
Yep.
And so the events of the Path of Carcosa are the investigators experiencing the play in their own personal way. And that as an idea helps tie in a lot of the loose ends and concepts from all the various authors into this more, I guess, monolithic idea of what the King in Yellow is.
Yeah.
And the characters are.
Yeah, because even if you strip it down, like Hastur also might not even be the Hastur we know, right? Like even like the King in Yellow, something that I learned while making this video from Travis's breakdown here, might not be the King in Yellow that we think it is, right? Like there's a lot of different interpretations, and it's kind of, I think with like what you're saying there, how like the different interpretations, it's also kind of maddening. It's trying to follow it is kind of crazy as well, right? Like just like the whole thing is really neat because of that. It's less clean than the Dunwich Horror, which I think is cool. Yeah.
It's all kind of on brand.
Yeah, it's very on brand.
Really.
Yeah. So we're going to go through the characters here. These are in no specific order. So what I'm going to do is we're going to just talk about like the little thing that Travis had here, and then if you have anything you want to add, just feel free to shout that in. But we're going to just dive in and deal with all this madness. So let's get ready for that. Characters, the King in Yellow. First one we have here, Alar, appears in a single account with no elaboration. That's how we're starting this, to just set the stage perfectly. This is the stuff that's going to happen. These characters are going to appear, and then they're just like, they're there. And as I said, some of them might be appearing in like multiple things. Like this guy might show up later as a city, for all you know, right?
Yeah, Alar gets mentioned as a character, like not with any particular affiliation, just in a list of names and of like character names, and so he could be a character, but doesn't really get talked about otherwise.
Yeah. Eldonis is the founder of the city of Hastur's ruling dynasty, and he seeks the throne of Yatil. We're going to talk about Yatil as well. Just again, they're going to be getting a lot of names here. There was a lot to unravel.
Yeah, for reference here, Yatil is a city. And the city of Hastur's ruling dynasty is not like the city that belongs to Hastur's ruling dynasty. It's the city of Hastur's.
Yeah.
Like the city's name is
Like
Hastur.
Multiple Hasturs.
No, like one Hastur. The city's name is Hastur.
Yeah.
You've taken so much horror.
Yeah.
Hallie is referenced as a necromancer who lived in the immemorial city. And you might also remember the Lake of Hallie, which... yeah, is a lake.
Yeah, we're going to get there in the locations.
Yeah, so, but that's again, like showing how there's all these things that are multiple different potential things that they appear in, or like what they're referenced as to, which like I personally think is kind of neat. What's the immemorial city? Do you know what that is?
Is that also the city of Hasturs?
Immemorial City is, I believe, one of the titles for like Carcosa.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Makes sense.
So yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't come up very often though.
Now Talba. Sometimes the High Priest of Yatil, but only sometimes. Again, there's a lot of different authors who take a lot of different like interpretations of all this stuff, so that's why some of this is like this.
It's just like normal history, though.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
it kind of is. Yeah.
Well, that's like to not sidetrack. What's my favorite thing about Elder Scrolls lore, where there's like a lot of different perspectives and potentials for things that happen, and it kind of translates into this. When he's not the High Priest of Yatil, he's also the King of Carcosa, so big upgrade, who sent the record keepers from the Library of Solano to share knowledge of the Great Old Ones with the world. So this also, the Great Halls of Solano, or as we call them over here, the Great Halls of Cilantro, is another big thing that kind of exists within all of the mythos lore as well.
It does have a fair bit of ties to the King in Yellow and Hastur.
We have the Pallid Mask, which you guys... in playing Arkham might know as the stranger, the man in the pallid mask who's following you around. He is also known as the Phantom of Truth, which is the name of the 5th scenario in the Path to Carcosa campaign. He's Hastur's messenger to the city of Yatil. He visits cities laden with depression and decadence to decide if they're going to be incorporated into Carcosa. And he's potentially the form used by the King in Yellow when interacting with mortals. This is the thing that you see... in the Path to Carcosa. This is the interpretation that they're taking with him. It's implied throughout this campaign that the man in the pallid mask, spoilers for Carcosa, just so you guys know, is that's Hastur. That's Hastur appearing to us. So Path to Carcosa is taking a very literal, the King in Yellow is Hastur, and the man in the pallid mask is Hastur
Like an
interacting with
avatar
these
of
people.
Hastur.
So does this also mean that Jim Carrey is Hastur?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Jim Carrey is actually a mask of Nyarlathotep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what the mask that he's wearing is. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, this lore gives us a little bit of insight into what like Hastur wants and his sort of motivations for what they can be discerned as, where he looks for cities and places that have basically gone mad and adds them to Carcosa.
Yep. We have Thale, the second king of Carcosa to wear the yellow sign. Congratulations, Thale. That's a very big accomplishment. We're very proud of you for that one. We also have
What?
He's a contender for the throne of Yatil, but he's alternatively the first king of Carcosa to wear the yellow sign.
Yep. These two are also commonly referenced just as members of the royal family. They're usually minor characters in the stories, or characters, other like sort of nobility who are vying for the throne.
Yeah.
Have an interest in it.
I think also I'm going to do some slight spoilers here for Dark Matter. I believe Thale, Ott, and Casilda are all actually referenced in Dark Matter as like the big ones for that. And like that's a cool thing there that you can see that also comes into Dark Matter. Casilda, very important, not only into the Dark Matter campaign, but also just... Does she appear on any of the story cards in Dim Carcosa?
Yeah, that's like the one where you're at the top of the stairs and she's trying to throw herself out a window or whatever.
Yeah.
Camilla and Casilda are the two like most commonly referenced members of the royal family.
Yeah, Casilda's a member of the royal family, typically the queen. We have Camilla over here, a member of the royal family and contender for the throne, typically a princess. Then we also have the King in Yellow. We all know him. He's traditionally an avatar of Hastur, though evidence exists to support the king as a mask of Nyarlathotep. Because Nyarlathotep, he just likes to stick his grubby fingers wherever he can.
He does.
Where does that evidence come in? Do you know off the top of your head?
No, I don't remember what story it's from. It's a fairly niche story, but it mostly interprets the King in Yellow as an avatar of Nyarlathotep that's trying to push cities toward Carcosa and Hastur. So
sweet. All right. Well, with all of our characters, it's time to us to start talk about some locations. So Yatil, we've been saying this one. It's a setting of the King in Yellow. It existed on another world until it became part of Carcosa due to its overwhelming sins, as we talked about with the Pallid Mask seeking out places to join Carcosa. It's a city that is cursed to eternally reenact the coming of the king, which sounds like a pretty shitty curse to have to deal with.
Man, I am pretty sure that James has already made this movie.
Yatil is most commonly the saying of the King in Yellow, where the events of the story take place and where the royal family resides. We'll see later that they're commonly some kind of conflict with neighboring cities. And the idea that this curse to eternally reenact the coming of the king is kind of where the idea that the recurring characters in all the different interpretations of the King in Yellow come from.
We have Carcosa, which is where we find the path to. This is a city in the Hyades. It's located on the shores of Lake Hali, though sometimes known as it being in the Gobi Desert or near the Lake of Galilee. It's composed of tall black buildings of various architectural styles. I imagine is that probably because of getting all the different places swallowed up in there? And It's purported to be the original home of humanity.
That makes more sense than anything else I've heard.
Yeah.
It's rather like the original home of humanity was amalgamated into it. Sort of like a city of Babylon.
Okay. Yeah, so that was one of the places, like Sodom and Gomorrah, the sin then gets captured up by Hastur. Okay, that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Wow. And I think that it's like... Because it's probably is it the most common one that's linked with Hastur, or is that just the one that Arkham Files has kind of chosen to be?
It's the most common one that's linked with Hastur. Sometimes Carcosa is what Yatil is in conflict with. Sometimes the events, if there isn't a conflict, usually Carcosa shows up in some way to kind of herald the coming of the stranger. Often it'll be some city appeared on the other side of the lake. Sometimes it's just a third city-state in the area that Hastur rules.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, we have Demhi, the Lake of Cloudy Depths. This is the creature out of Demi. That's the reference to that
where the
one.
name comes from.
And it's may bear the city of Alar on its shores. Do you remember Alar from all the way at the start of the video? Well, it's also a city typically depicted as besieging the city of Hastur. Now you might be thinking, Hastur, isn't that this ancient one that we have? Yep. It is.
It is, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also I'm pretty sure there was even a time when it was like Hastur could have been like a moon. Like it's like all these things that it could be.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that in our discussion of Hastur as a character. As the King in Yellow.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
We have Hali. This is the lake burying the city of Carcosa on its shores. Occasionally referred to as the dwelling of Hastur, the unspeakable one. It is said that those who seek the lake are soon visited by Hastur or his minions.
There's a fair number of stories where Hastur is a great old one, like resides within the lake of Hali, like underneath it.
Yeah.
And there's a couple depictions. I think that Derleth's first, or maybe just his most famous depiction of it, involves Hastur coming out of the lake. I think it's the Bell of Cthulhu. So yeah, that's probably where that, as a trope for Hastur, comes from.
Yeah, because the interesting thing is that most of the in the Robert Chambers stuff, it actually isn't that hard on like the Hastur as this concept of what we know him today, right? Like
Hastur especially is just sort of a background.
Yeah, most of the stuff that is relating to that one is literally just like this other world and like going crazy. That seems to be like the connecting like line between all of them.
Yeah, barring the Repairer of Reputations. That one has a lot of the lore about the different kings and the occurrences in Carcosa and the surrounding cities.
Yeah, and that's the one with the suicide booths, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's been a long time since I read
it. I love the ending of that short story. All right, we're done with the locations. That was the last big major location, but now get ready, because now we're going to be telling you about what the plot of the King in Yellow play is about. It is suggested that the King in Yellow, while featuring similar elements, appears differently for each observer. This is supported by the variety in depictions and names used interchangeably between depictions, and we're going to cover the two most common and prolific plots that we have here. And let me tell you, they're not straightforward. So let's get this. Plot A. The setting is Yatil, under the stars of Aldebaran and the Hyades. You might know Aldebaran, the Beast of Aldebaran, the big enemy that could show up. We have this reference here. The claimants to the throne are presented: Thale, Oat, Casilda, the queen, Aldonis, and Camilla. Casilda is ultimately chosen as the successor in raging Aldonis. As revenge, Aldonis gets Oat to forge documents bearing the queen's seal, and then Aldonis then convinces Camilla to arrest Oat for his crime of forgery. One thing that's also very important to know about the King in Yellow and all like the interpretations of it is that the play is said to be very, very boring in the first act and very meandering. So like it's just like, what are we doing here? And then you go crazy in the next act when things are like absolutely nutter butters. So it's very meandering, and that's by design that we have here. These events are witnessed by Thale and the High Priest Nautalba. A ghostly city appears on the other side of Lake Hali, and the royal family is approached by a stranger bearing a pallid mask and the yellow sign. They question and interrogate the stranger to no avail. Then the royal family holds a masquerade where the stranger reveals that he wears no mask. The common line here is no mask, no mask. That's like the vibe here when they realize that's just that guy's face. This causes Queen Casilda to go insane. She orders the stranger tortured to death, as well as the rest of the prisoners, unaware that her son Oat is among them. The King in Yellow appears in Yatil to a background of madness and invasion as the ghostly city across Lake Hali fades away. The king personally kills Aldonis and Thale, declaring the passing of Yatil and the solitary existence of Carcosa, as well as his own eternal rule. So I imagine what also this is kind of showing is this is like the act of even him swallowing up the city.
Yeah,
right,
this is the like the generic plot that a lot of other works will refer to or build off of.
All right, but there's another one, Plot B, and this one's also I didn't know about this one. It takes place in the city of Hastur, which has been at war with the neighboring city of Alar for years. We remember Alar; he was mentioned early at the start of the video. The royal he's a city in this one. In the last one, he was a person. In this one, he's a city. Don't get it twisted. The royal children of Oat, Thale, and Camilla repeatedly attempt to convince Queen Casilda to pass on the crown and name her successor. Casilda hears rumors of someone wearing a strange pallid mask and bearing the yellow sign being sighted in Hastur, the city. Remember, it's a city right now. The queen summons the stranger to the palace at High Priest Nautalba's suggestion. The stranger gives his name as Yatil, which previously was a city, but now it's a person.
It's the guy now, yeah.
And offers Casilda the opportunity to escape the influence of the King in Yellow, who dwells in Carcosa on the other side of Lake Halley. He claims that by donning the pallid mask, all those in Hastur may be free of the yellow sign as he is. Believing Yatil, the queen holds a masquerade where each person dons the pallid mask. Yatil reveals that he wears no mask and has come from Alar in vengeance for the city's feud. The king in yellow appears and bears Yatil away for this crime. The king promises Casilda that the victor of the war between Hastur and Alar shall rule the world, provided the people of Hastur and their descendants wear their pallid masks for all eternity. The king then departs, leaving the courtiers to wallow in despair and madness.
Yeah, this one's certainly a different plot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that just sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
Leaves it open-ended, but I do like that it doesn't have a obvious ending to it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the incorporation of the masks into it.
Yes.
More than the other one. I think that's a big part of it. I think the reason that this plot is less recognized is probably because Fantasy Flight and previously the
Chaosium.
Chaosium.
Yeah.
Built a lot of their Carcosa related lore off of the first plot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's actually cool when I was getting, there's going to be a picture later on where someone did some interpretation of the courtiers with their masks and all that stuff. So I think that was a cool thing to find because based off of this plot here. I think also, this one, like a lot of people now, because especially once things get set in stone where it's like, this is who we know Hastur. Mm-hmm. Hastur being the city is like another thing where people are like, what the hell? But again, I think it just shows the layers that this has where it really does feel maddening to try to make sense of it all. All right, history of the play. So just so you all know, this is fictional. We are not
fictional.
Yeah, we are not in the IRL trivia yet, because I remember when I was doing this, I was like, really? And then I was like, no, this is fake stuff. So I'm just gonna get you all there. So the play was originally thought to have been wholly written by an unknown playwright in the late 19th century. More recently is believed to be the first two scenes were written by Christopher Marlowe, most notably the author of the tragical history of the life and death of Dr. Faustus. This is when I looked it up. I was like, is that guy real? He is real. But he did not, in the real life, write The King in Yellow. Unless...
As far as we know.
Yeah, as far as we know. That's going to be other people you recognize in here.
John Croft and William Shakespeare attempted at one point to finish the work, but were thwarted by Shakespeare's morals. This newer section was destroyed in a house fire in 1666, hail Satan, and the homeowner accidentally bound the original Marlowe section to a book of his wife's poetry. It was then rediscovered by a man known as Castaigne, not Robert Castaigne, don't get it twisted, who then completed the play. There are several unknowns about this initial version of the work, such as whether it was completed in English or French, and whether the initial publication was in 1890 or 1895. Regardless, the play was quickly banned by the city of Paris shortly after publication. Several editions have since been published in secret, appearing in London, Edinburgh, Chicago, Zagreb, Budapest, Berlin, Warsaw, Prague, Belgrade, Bucharest, and Sarajevo. We're not done! One theory regarding the play is its existence as an Akashic grimoires, as described by Kenneth Grant, existing on a higher plane and perceived subconsciously by artists. That's kind of neat.
I think that one's actually really neat, because that would be like how some of the characters in the Arkham horror universe interpret, like Safina.
Yep.
She has visions of Carcosa that she chooses to paint, and then that brings it into existence itself. Yep. I really like that one as a sort of explanation for how all these different artists in different cities, despite the play being outlawed and cracked down on so hard by authorities, still have been able to like spontaneously create works that are not the same but similar.
Yeah, that's really cool. And it kind of makes sense. So I dig that. I don't want to get too deep into Elder Scrolls, but it reminds me of the Hermes Mora in the Black Books, so it's kind of neat. Another possible source of the play is the Yellow Codex, a set of Akkadic tablets found in the ruined city of Naya, China, which tell of a treaty between the cities of Hastur and Carcosa. We love Hastur, the city. We love them as the ancient one too, but we also love them as the city. All right, so now we're gonna get to some more kind of straightforward stuff. This is like the thing that you're gonna like really recognize here. We're talking about the Cult of the Yellow Sign. So this is Hastur. We know him and love him, a.k.a. the King in Yellow, the unspeakable one. He who is not to be named, Asseter, because his ass do be poppin'. Zaxter, Kaiwan, patron of the shepherds. So the patron of the shepherds is very interesting. We're going to be touching that is like his first reference for that one, when he first appeared in the Ambrose Bierce thing. He's a great old one. He's imprisoned on a star near Aldebaran in the Taurus constellation. He's associated with decadence, stagnancy, and nihilism. Reports of his appearance vary wildly, including an invisible psychic force, a huge tentacle-covered bipedal lizard, and an alien monk in a green robe.
Yeah, this guy, like, he likes to show off in weird ways.
The alien monk in a green robe is very interesting.
When you've been imprisoned in a star in the Taurus system for the last 3,000 years.
He's like, is this not what people look like?
You get a little weird.
Why am I a few thousand years too late with this look? Do I need to change?
2,000 years too early?
Yeah. The green robes aren't a thing? Okay. He's notably worshipped by the Chochos and the inhabitants of Kinyan, which we never saw the Chochos in the Forgotten Age, but Kinyan was a part of that, which we're going to be also be talking about later on as well.
Yeah, in the Forgotten Age week.
Yes. Which will be more straightforward than this one.
Yeah, that one's like 2 stories.
Yeah. He may be called upon when Aldebaran is in the sky, the optimal time being Candlemas night, February 2nd, usually with the 9 monoliths in a V formation to mimic Taurus.
Yeah, you guys ever heard of Candlemas before? I had to look that up.
I haven't, no. And it's February 2nd, not Groundhog Day.
No, February 2nd.
Wild. Cool. Byakhee. So Byakhee were recurring enemies throughout the campaign. There's the Byakhee set in this one, the stealthy Byakhee, the other one. These were once intelligent inhabitants of a city now drawn into Carcosa that was rumored to have made a deal with Hastur for his support in a conflict. They now dwell in Carcosa and interstellar space. They may be used as mounts to carry the rider between the stars, provided the rider has drunk space mead.
Yeah, so space mead is very much a Dreamlands thing.
Yeah.
Which has heavy influence and ties to Nyarlathotep, and the sort of connection between Nyarlathotep and the Byakhees is part of the idea that the King in Yellow may be an avatar of Nyarlathotep rather than Hastur directly.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Summoning a Byakhee usually involves an elder sign, a night when Aldebaran is above the horizon, the blowing of a special whistle, and the intonation of an eldritch chant. Mm-hmm. You can't just say, hey, Byakhee. You gotta really show them that you want them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to summon things from that exist between the stars.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point, Dre. It shouldn't be easy.
It shouldn't be easy.
It shouldn't be easy.
Otherwise, it's just anyone could do it.
Yeah, and that would be bad.
By accident.
Yeah.
By accident,
Yeah. Can't have that.
Brothers of the Yellow Sign. This is a cult of Hastur in his form of the King in Yellow. They may have been among the serpent people of Velusia, but more likely in Kinyan. This is also probably why the Chochos worship him there. Members identify each other with hand signs. That's the
Yellow Brotherhood thing.
Yeah, or by rings and a pendant bearing a yellow stone.
Yeah,
Congregation.
That actually comes up in the King Yell or the Path to Carcosa campaign. Your little the pendant. Class
the onyx. Well, that's kind of cool. It's kind of neat. Congregations involved the worship of Hastur as well as occasionally Shub-Niggurath, known to hunt and destroy the Migo outposts on Earth. They hate the Migos.
They actually do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. They do not like the Migos.
They frequently attempt to suppress archaeology in the Gobi Desert, the location of their most sacred rites. And this is probably also why the Gobi Desert is linked, as you said earlier, as a potential place for Carcosa.
Yep.
Yeah. Neat. All right. We get into some IRL trivia here. So the Big Lord stuff is done, and you might be thinking, is that it? And yeah that's like kind of it. We're gonna have some books that we're gonna talk about in there, and some we'll talk about the Robert Chambers short stories and how they connect when we get to them. But this is the Yellow Sign. The most commonly seen version of the Yellow Sign, the 3-armed swirl, was created by Kevin Ross. It was intended to mimic the arms of a monster and was flipped upside down in the original publication.
Does that not mean that this is flipped upside down?
I believe that this is upside down from its intended orientation, but this is just what everyone. Yeah, but this is just what it is now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they saw the first one, they're like, nah, flip it. I want the little question mark on the top.
Yeah.
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 I mean, yeah. So this is the one that Fantasy Flight uses.
It's just a neat little bit of trivia of where it came from.
Yep. Really cool. There are two individuals who become known, who've come be known by the name Hali that Bierce was likely aware of when he derived the name. We have Khalid ibn Yiz. We have that guy. He's a potential heir to the caliphate turned scholar who lived in the 7th century.
He was, yeah.
He later had various medieval treatises on alchemy attributed to him.
Yeah, so these are both like real people.
So like the Khalid, the Hali for that one there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have Ali ibn Ridwan, one of the foremost medical authorities of the 11th century. He authored over 100 books and was tragically driven insane by the betrayal and theft of a servant girl. So, yeah, like they're just like us.
Did they steal a servant girl, or did the servant girl steal from him?
The servant girl stole from him.
Okay, I just like
just sort of don't want to badmouth this guy.
No, I just like.
But like this was probably their random name generator, right? Where they were like they saw it and they were like, oh, let's take something from this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. Another potential source of the name Hali comes from Marion Zimmer Bradley, who states that Hali is the Arabic name for the constellation of Taurus, which contains both Aldebaran and the Hyades, which really seems like a good thing here.
I would check out.
And this one, actually, I like this one because in some might know about my Red Hall stuff, the Pleiades is actually a big part of my thing, which I think is really cool that it's like close to each other there. Yeah, it's kind of neat.
More or less.
Yeah. Yeah.
In context.
this picture, you look at the sky, you're like, yeah, they're like 10 inches from each other.
Yeah, they're pretty
light
close.
Years. But I think this one's really cool, right? That like the Aldebaran and the Hyades, like it's like all like actual stars, like linking it to kind of real life is I think a really cool potential source for that as well. And also like, yeah, that's neat. Hastur's first appearance was in Bierce's Haita the Shepherd. The name was then appropriated by Chambers as both a character and a place, and then eventually taken by Derleth as a great old one. So, we're talking about Ambrose Bierce. The Haita the Shepherd was the appearance for this guy, and then Chambers took him. But he didn't become a great old one, as you said, until he was incorporated by Derleth and like kind of became more part of that world then.
Yeah, Derleth changed a lot of things about the mythos and codified and brought a lot of made a lot of things just more explicit in what they were, which some people really don't like and some people do, but.
But I think that's like, I mean, even like Lovecraft, like he loved working with other people to like build all this together, right? Like that was, I remember, like a big part. Like there was a lot of like working with each other's stuff, being inspired by each other's stuff, using each other's stuff.
Yeah, there was a lot of collaboration between Lovecraft and like Lynn Carter and Clark Ashton Smith.
Yeah. And then correct me if I'm wrong as well, but like Chambers, like the King in Yellow was even before Lovecraft started publishing stuff, right? So it's kind of neat to see that like this was even before all that stuff, but still kind of had that weird horror sort of vibe to it because it does feel very like what we know today as Lovecraftian style of short stories. At least in the four that are linked to it, you read the short stories like, why am I reading this romance story about ghosts? What the hell? Yeah.
That's part of what people dislike about Derleth's appropriation of a lot of the older stories and characters is it's a lot more explicit horror as opposed to cosmic horror, and which relied a lot more on ambience and mood and I guess implied horror rather than the explicit horror of the later stories.
Makes sense, yeah. Derleth also referred to the character as him who is not to be named, but the idea of Hastur's name causing the destruction of the speaker didn't appear until the advanced Dungeons & Dragons book Deities and Demigods and later Chaosium's Call of Cthulhu. I think this was a great piece of trivia for that kind of stuff there.
AD&D did a lot of weird things.
Yeah. This one.
This is just one of them.
Yeah.
This one stuck though.
Yes.
Thank God. That's why you get sanity damage.
Yeah. All right, so we have some
I'll take
relevant
sanity damage when someone tells me that they're using 2-hit armor class 0. So
So here's some relevant and recommended rating. I'll include a text version of this in the video description so you can actually like copy and paste it if you want to find these things. If it isn't there when this video comes out, yell at me, please. I'll put it in there. So we have the 2 Ambrose Bierce, and then we have these Robert W. Chambers stories. As we said, the Repair of Reputations. And the Court of the Dragon is probably the only short story that was like literally translated. The idea was brought
directly to it,
to Arkham Horror. So that's why you saw in the blind play I had the reaction of when we did Phantom of Truth, because that whole thing is about being chased by this guy, being pursued by this organist.
Yeah.
And is that the one that ends with like such a big thing to like look upon a living god or something like that?
I think so.
So like that's like the big thing that has for that one. So those are the ones that are actually in the King of Yellow short story collection. So if you want like the best place to start for all of this, I think is that collection of short stories. Yeah, that'd be the best place to start.
The Ambrose Bierce stories are mostly there as like sort of historical curiosity, I guess. They don't have a lot to do with the actual King in Yellow and modern interpretations of it. They're just the first appearances of those names and places.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually pretty kind of like crazy. It's just the Inhabitant of Carcosa, again, like seeing how this is like a thread that is carried through a lot less direct than we had with like Lovecraft and the things that we've come to associate with it, which I think is really neat. And then we have The Return of Hastur by August Derleth. And then we have started getting some new names. Tatter of the King by Lynn Carter. And then we have a few more here as well. Wisp of the Darkness by H.P. Lovecraft. More Light by James Blish. Yellow is the Color of the Future. Song Carcosa. Then we start getting into some longer names, which also kind of feel a little bit maddening.
Yeah, up to the Whisper. The Whisper in Darkness is the last one that's kind of tangentially directly related to, I guess, what's like sort of the core of Lovecraft mythos. From More Light by James Blish and down, those are just stories that I came across that I enjoyed reading. I felt showed were good interpretations of it. Yeah. Though these are all short stories with the exception of The Song of Carcosa by Josh Reynolds, which is actually an Arkham Horror novel.
Cool.
And that features Alessandra, and it was quite good.
Nice.
It was probably the best one that I've read so far, so would recommend.
The thing that I think is really cool about just Hastur and all this mythos is that you actually, like, this has happened to me where I just buy like a collection of short stories from an author, and then suddenly you read one and you're like, wait a minute, this is King in Yellow Carcosa shit. Yeah. Because a lot of like people are very inspired by him, like by the whole like all the mythos surrounding him and like all these different things, and like to like, especially like the idea of art making people go crazy is like a big part of like kind of the linking feature. And I think that is just really cool to just see pop up when you're just checking some stuff out. So don't be surprised. This isn't this isn't an exhaustive list. These are just some relevant and recommending stuff.
That Black Stars on Canvas Reproduction Acrylic, I actually wouldn't be surprised if that was directly the influence for Safina's character.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's about an artist who keeps painting Carcosa over and over again until they get drawn into it.
That's cool. That is Safina's backstory. That is it. Yeah. All right. Well, that is it for the lore, but that's not it for the video. We, to celebrate Path to Carcosa Week, we'll be building standalone decks to take on a snare from the campaign. However, unlike previous standalone decks, we will be building thematic decks that resonate with the lore of the Path to Carcosa and our characters, where we had our very, very struggle run through Lost in Time and Space.
We did great.
We're going to be doing that again. We're not going to be building the decks live in this video. We're going to pause the video, build our decks, and we're going to just showcase them to you to close this out. So pause the video and then unpause it, and the decks will be here. Look at all the binders on the table.
Wow.
All right, we have our 3 decks here, a Lola, a Min, and a Safina. We're just going to kind of briefly talk about them. As it was last time, these decks suck, but that's kind of the point of this one. So my Lola deck, let's go to scans here.
Yeah, like you don't have to tell us they're bad, but like if you want to, like go ahead.
Yeah, more power to you. Yeah. But this is kind of just like the bumper at the end of the video anyway, so.
Yeah, it don't matter. If you if you're still watching at this point, like go ahead.
So key of V's, because I have a nice necklace. It's pretty, it's beautiful, just like me as Lola. This original was an Elder Sign, but we went to this one because it's also kind of linked to the campaign.
It's very linked to the campaign.
My actor friends, Henry Wall, performer friends, and Bianca. And Madame Lebranche gives me the money that allows me to be an actor. It's also why I'm not indebted, because I have a patron. Bestow Resolve, because I can do exciting performances for my friends. Eldritch Tongue, because I'm an actor. Fine Clothes, because I'm looking good. Captivating Performance. This actually is a pretty good set here for flavor. Charisma, because I'm charismatic. Disguise, because it's a costume. I have one Look What I Found, because I think I can dummy my way into this in my backstory.
You just
right?
bumble around and stumble into something.
Where's the Party and Motivational Speech. Stall for Time. Vamp. This is a parlay package. And it also, again, fits well with Lola because of her ability to perform. Now we're going to get into this stuff. Some of these look a little bit strange. Able-bodied and fighting lessons. But I did fighting lessons at the school. At acting school, so I know how to do this.
Not like real fighting lessons?
No, it's stage fighting.
Stage fighting.
Yeah, that's why there's no weapons in the deck to do extra damage with.
Yeah.
And then we have able-bodied again. A performer, very agile. Contemplative, because, I think it fits for like the, thinking and all that.
Lola's probably pretty neurotic.
Inspiring presence, again, the acting side. It's not actually true, but I believe it.
The only thing Lola's contemplating is like, they all noticed when I messed up the line. Yes. They all noticed. Everyone noticed.
Yeah.
I have one brick. Again, it's like the Look What I Found. This is like the get lucky just once. Then I have Take Heart and Well Dressed to round this out. My weaknesses, we didn't roll for these ones. We chose what we thought would be good. Nihilism, because I realized my career is going nowhere. Overzealous, because this is my next big break. And self-centered, because everyone is out to get me. We'll then hop over to Min. It's actually kind of nice because Lola had the entire card pool. I felt like my deck was the easiest to make work because I could just take whatever.
Yeah, you could take anything that made sense.
But as I was saying, I'm so excited for Forgotten Age because it's actually going to be so easy and also probably pretty good.
I'm excited who's going to bring the blood of Kenyan.
All right, Bryn.
All right, we got a Selena Fragments because Travis says I have to. We got a Panoptic manuscripts because, as we learned earlier in the video, that's like.
Well, we also learned earlier in the video Selena.
No, I wasn't listening, so we didn't learn that.
I guess no one learned it then because I already knew it.
I learned it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Then Justin learned earlier in the video.
We got the King in Yellow because I have to. It's like the thing that ties me to this story.
Why you're here.
Whitten Green is the one who sourced the King in Yellow to my employer, and I'm like, I stole this from him because I'm a piece of shit secretary.
Yep.
But I'm trying to get her to take it back now.
Yeah.
You need to take this somewhere else.
We got a Dream Enhancing Serum because I'm trying to forget what I saw.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not working. It's not working good. Yeah. We got the Analytical Mind because we must. We got Sound Support because we're actually like really good at our job, short of the whole stealing from my employer thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't respect him or whatever.
Yeah. We got Astounding Revelation because like I did not see the King in Yellow going that way.
Yes. Yeah. Whoa! What a twist! That's fucking crazy.
We got Eidetic Memory because I'm good at my job.
Yeah.
We got Ghastly Revelation because like I didn't think it could get any crazier than that, but it did.
It did.
Yeah, we got Glimpse the Unthinkable. Like, so I'm gonna like it's the same. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same for a lot of these things, really.
Yeah.
We got No Stone Unturned. The Truth Beckons. Thorough Inquiry. Truth from Fiction. Because we have opened a book that we shouldn't have.
Yep.
In pursuit of greater knowledge.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely not.
We got the Raven Quill because I thought it was funny that I could name the King in Yellow with it.
Hell yeah. Might as well get it out of your hat, your deck early.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, like we've also got the other 2 tomes in the deck named because that was one of the things I could pick that did something with any of the cards in my deck.
I didn't play XP in my customizable card, did I?
Nope.
Okay, good.
No, it's just innate.
I got Working a Hunch because the hunch we're working is that we should not have taken this book.
Yeah. Also for the Ravenclaw, it's the tutor version. For
it tutors one out.
Yeah. And these are all just kind of like the
so
same.
Curiosity,
copy paste these. Yeah, copy paste all these.
Deduction, Inquiring Mind, Inquisitive, yep, same.
That does
thing.
Nothing.
It actually does not do anything. Yes, you are correct.
It's strictly worse than fucking
like perception. Like perception.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But again, we're not here to ask, is it good?
We're not here to ask that question today.
No. All right, Travis. Your weaknesses. We gave you drawing yours is you're fricked up by this. Drawing the sign obsessive to just destroy the big hand-sized dream.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. We only have like 2 pair of cards for it. So.
And then morbid curiosity. I think these ones fit really nice for this one.
Those are good.
All right, and Travis, you got Safina here.
I did. So we got like Scroll of Prophecies, because that's a book that I forged. Joey the Rat is my fence. Someone needs to sell all of the fake paintings of Carcosa that I'm making, or real paintings.
They're real paintings of Carcosa. The fake paintings are the ones that are like, this is the Mona Lisa again.
Yeah, he's selling those ones. Anyway.
And he's like, do you want to own the screen?
I have 3 of them.
Yes.
I'm in Blur.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually just Safina.
Yeah. Kleptomania, because like... You gotta live somehow.
Yeah, that was one of the weaknesses.
Yeah. We got Liquid Courage, Painkiller, Smoking Pipe, and Tennessee Sour Mash, because these are all items that Joey could sell, but also, like...
They just numb the
torture.
being an artist. Yeah.
The pain of knowing that I'm an artist. We got Decoy, we got Doppelganger, we had...
we should say for Decoy, it's not because you're doing crimes, but because you make decoys.
Yeah, I make decoys of things. Yeah, Doppelgangers because I make copies of things.
Yep.
We got Faustian Bargain. That's the guy buying my paintings.
Yeah, that was a good pull from Bryn there at the last, the 11th hour to get the 2 last.
We're just trying to make our deck like even remotely functional.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe the Rat's like, I'm looking for some guy show up. He wants paintings of Carcosa. Do you know what that is? And you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that paper on the thing is not a contract. It's like paint on this. Yeah. That's what he's saying. Yeah.
We got friends in low places because I'm a criminal or whatever, and I can find innate things, which is not great, but hey. Grift because, criminal stealing thing. We grift people with our paintings. Payday because we have money from selling our paintings. Small favor. So we gotta pay people to do something. This was actually kind of a relic. There's an earlier version of the deck with Chuck Fergus, but we have like one other option to kill enemies. So it's not a string of curses,
Travis,
but it could be.
That's so far from true. We have infinite options.
No, it's not infinite. It's a lot, but it's not infinite.
String of curses is because artists. Have you met an artist that doesn't swear? Yeah.
Pain World.
I can't say what I said when I brought that up because then I would get this video demonetized. And then here are your skills.
Yeah, we got Copycat because...
You make copies.
Yeah, make copies. We got Manual Dexterity because you got to be pretty dexterous to be a painter probably. Mm-hmm. Memories of Another Life because I am an artist and I can play this one and this is our other enemy solution.
It's also you're in the art.
Oh yeah, I guess that is me. Yeah, that checks out then.
So... There is that.
We got an Opportunist because there's wine in the picture.
I forgot about that. Oh man, you're gonna hate drawing that when we play it.
I'm gonna hate when I play Friends in Low Place and that's the only innate card I see.
Yeah,
it's better than none.
Yeah, that's better than none.
You have to pay one experience, like one resource for it.
Yeah.
Like I was just failed to find.
Yeah. Quick thinking. I'm a criminal and
think quick.
Painting and we quick think.
And then we went hypochondria because that's the paint on Safina's hands. Yeah. And then indebted because you're an artist.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Well, that is it for this lore video, and then also those are our decks, which you're going to be able to find a link to in the video description. But additionally, you're also going to be able to... I just got to click create a share for these. We're going to do that on Friday for this. I hope you enjoyed the lore video. I honestly forgot about that part of this video. It's been so long for the deck building here. But thanks everyone who watched. Have a good one, and we'll see you for the next one.